Have you ever looked back at certain moments in your life and wondered why they happened the way they did? At the time, they may have seemed confusing, even frustrating. A door closed unexpectedly. A challenge appeared when you thought everything was finally moving in the right direction. A person entered your life for a brief moment, but left behind an idea or a lesson that stayed with you for years. In the moment, none of it seemed to make much sense. But when you look back now, those moments may begin to feel strangely connected. Many people eventually notice this pattern in their lives. Events that once appeared random begin to form a story. A difficult experience may lead to a strength you didn't know you had. A setback may push you toward a new path that turns out to be far more meaningful than the one you originally planned. Even certain people you meet along the way may appear at exactly the right time, offering guidance, encouragement, or perspective just when you need it most. Sometimes these moments only reveal their meaning years later. When you look back, the pieces begin to fit together in ways that were impossible to see at the time. The challenges that once felt like obstacles may now appear as turning points. The experiences that once seemed unrelated may now look like steps along a single path. Throughout history and storytelling, this idea has often been described through something known as the chosen one prophecy. In many myths, legends, and fictional stories, there is a character whose life appears to be guided toward a specific mission or role. Early events in their life seem to prepare them for something greater, even if they do not realize it at first. Their struggles shape their character, their experiences build their strength, and eventually they begin to understand the purpose behind the journey they have been walking. In modern life, this idea is rarely interpreted as a literal prophecy spoken by someone who can predict the future. Instead, it is often understood in a more symbolic way. The concept reflects the realization that our personal struggles, talents, relationships, and experiences may be quietly shaping us for something meaningful. What once looked like random events may actually be part of a longer process of growth and preparation. For some people, this realization arrives slowly. Over time, they begin to notice patterns in their lives. Certain challenges repeat themselves until a lesson is learned. Certain opportunities appear again and again in slightly different forms. Certain passions or talents continue to draw their attention, no matter how many different directions they try to pursue. Gradually, these patterns begin to tell a story. The individual begins to see how their past experiences have shaped the person they have become. Skills developed through hardship become tools that help them solve problems later in life. Lessons learned through failure become guidance that helps them make better decisions in the future. In that moment of realization, life begins to look different. Instead of seeing the past as a series of random events, it begins to look like preparation. The difficulties, the lessons, and the opportunities all seem to point toward a deeper purpose. In this video, we're going to explore this idea more closely. We'll talk about why many people feel that their lives are guided by fate, how early struggles and unexpected challenges can serve as preparation, and how individuals eventually begin to recognize the path they were meant to follow. Sometimes the story of our lives only becomes clear when we step back far enough to see how every piece fits together. And if this topic resonates with you, take a moment to support the channel by liking this video, sharing it with someone who might find this message meaningful, and subscribing for more content exploring purpose, personal growth, and the deeper patterns behind life's journey. The idea of a prophecy has existed in human storytelling for thousands of years. In myths, legends, and ancient traditions across many cultures, prophecies often describe a person whose life is destined to unfold in a particular way. These stories frequently center on individuals who are chosen for a role or mission that seems larger than themselves. At the beginning of the story, the character usually has little understanding of their future. They may live an ordinary life, unaware that the events surrounding them are slowly guiding them towards something meaningful. In many of these narratives, the prophecy does not immediately reveal its full meaning. Instead, it unfolds gradually. Early experiences in the character's life begin shaping their abilities and perspective. Challenges test their strength. Encounters with certain people introduce them to ideas they had never considered before. At first, these events appear unrelated. Only later does it become clear that each moment was part of a larger journey. While these stories often include supernatural elements, the deeper message behind them resonates with real life in a surprisingly practical way. Many people eventually experience moments when their own lives seem to follow a similar pattern. When they look back at their past, they begin to notice that different experiences, which once seemed random, appear strangely connected. A person may remember a difficult period in childhood that forced them to develop resilience earlier than others. At the time, it may have felt unfair or confusing. Yet years later, that same resilience may become one of their greatest strengths. It may allow them to face challenges calmly while others struggle. What once seemed like an unfortunate hardship gradually reveals itself as something that helped shape their character. In other cases, an unexpected encounter with another person can change the direction of someone's life. A teacher might introduce a subject that sparks curiosity. A mentor may offer guidance that opens a new possibility. Even a brief conversation with a stranger can plant an idea that remains in someone's mind for years. These moments may seem small when they happen, but their influence can grow over time. Sometimes opportunities appear at moments when they are least expected. After a period of struggle or uncertainty, a new path may suddenly reveal itself. A job opportunity, a creative idea, or a meaningful connection might emerge just when someone is beginning to question their direction. When viewed in isolation, these events may appear coincidental, but when someone reflects on them later, they may begin to see a pattern forming. These patterns are often what lead people to feel that their lives are guided in some way, not necessarily by a literal prophecy, but by the accumulation of experiences that gradually shape their direction. Each challenge teaches a lesson. Each encounter introduces a new possibility. Each opportunity builds upon skills or insights developed earlier. The feeling that life may be guiding someone toward a particular direction often becomes stronger as they gain more perspective. When people are in the middle of a difficult situation, it is rarely easy to see how that experience might contribute to their future. Struggles can feel overwhelming when they occur, and it is natural to question why they are happening. However, when enough time passes, the meaning of those experiences sometimes becomes clearer. A person may realize that the difficulties they faced forced them to develop abilities they otherwise might never have learned. They may recognize that a disappointment redirected them toward a path that turned out to be far more fulfilling than the one they originally planned. In this way, the concept of prophecy begins to shift from something mystical into something reflective. It becomes less about predicting the future and more about understanding the past. Instead of imagining that a person's destiny was written in advance, the idea of prophecy can be seen as the realization that life experiences have been gradually preparing someone for the role they eventually step into. For many individuals, this realization occurs slowly. It may begin with a simple moment of reflection when they notice how several events in their life appear connected. Perhaps a skill they developed years ago suddenly becomes useful in an unexpected situation. Perhaps an interest that once seemed like a hobby evolves into a meaningful career. Perhaps the lessons learned from past failures help them guide others who are facing similar struggles. These moments of recognition can be powerful because they change how people interpret their journey. Instead of viewing their past as a collection of disconnected experiences, they begin to see it as a sequence of preparation. The setbacks, the challenges, and the unexpected turns all begin to look like steps that led them to where they are now. This perspective does not require believing that every event in life is controlled by fate or predetermined by some external force. Rather, it acknowledges that human lives are shaped by countless interactions between circumstances, choices, and opportunities. When these elements combine over time, they often create paths that no one could have predicted in advance. Recognizing this process can bring a sense of clarity. People may realize that the abilities they now possess were developed through experiences they once questioned. The empathy they feel for others may have grown from difficulties they personally endured. The insights they share may have come from lessons learned through mistakes and challenges. When someone begins to see their life in this way, the idea of a prophecy becomes symbolic. It represents the understanding that life has been guiding them through experiences that gradually prepared them for something meaningful. What once appeared to be chaos or coincidence may reveal itself as part of a larger narrative that unfolded step by step. This shift in perspective can also change how people approach their future. When individuals recognize that their past experiences have shaped their strengths and understanding, they often gain greater confidence in their direction. Instead of feeling lost or uncertain, they begin to trust that the lessons they have learned will continue guiding them forward. They may still face challenges, and the future may still contain uncertainty, but the awareness that their past struggles contributed to their growth can provide reassurance. It reminds them that even difficult experiences can hold value, even if that value is not immediately visible. Ultimately, the idea of a prophecy in real life may not be about a fixed destiny waiting to be fulfilled. Instead, it may be about the gradual realization that life itself has been a process of preparation. The challenges, opportunities, and encounters that shaped someone's journey were not meaningless interruptions. They were part of the path that helped them become the person they are today. In this sense, what people sometimes call a prophecy may simply be the moment when someone looks back and finally understands how every piece of their story contributed to something greater than they could have imagined when the journey first began. When people reflect on the lives of individuals who eventually step into meaningful roles, one pattern often becomes clear. Their early years are rarely simple or predictable. Instead of moving through life without obstacles, they frequently encounter challenges that test their patience, strength, and understanding of the world. These experiences may appear unfair or confusing at the time, especially when compared with the smoother paths that others seem to follow. For individuals who later feel connected to a deeper purpose, these early difficulties often become a crucial part of their preparation. What initially feels like hardship may gradually develop qualities that would be impossible to build through comfort alone. In this sense, the preparation phase is not always obvious while it is happening. It may look like struggle, uncertainty, or delay. Yet over time, these experiences quietly shape the person someone is becoming. One of the most important qualities that often emerges through early challenges is resilience. Resilience is the ability to continue moving forward despite setbacks, disappointment, or uncertainty. People who face difficulties early in life learn how to endure situations that do not go as planned. They discover that failure does not have to define them. Instead, each obstacle becomes a moment where they must decide whether to stop or continue. Through repeated experiences of difficulty, individuals begin to understand that setbacks are not permanent barriers. They are part of the learning process that accompanies growth. Each time a challenge is faced and overcome, confidence slowly develops. A person realizes that they are capable of adapting, learning, and finding new solutions when circumstances change. Resilience also changes how individuals respond to future challenges. Someone who has rarely faced hardship may feel overwhelmed when difficulties eventually appear. By contrast, someone who has already navigated multiple obstacles often approaches problems with a calmer mindset. They understand that discomfort and uncertainty are temporary. Instead of panicking, they begin searching for ways to move forward. Another quality that often grows during the preparation phase is empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. People who have personally experienced hardship tend to develop a deeper sensitivity to the struggles of those around them. When they see someone facing a challenge, they can recognize the emotions that accompany it because they have felt those emotions themselves. This understanding can become incredibly valuable later in life, particularly for individuals who guide, support, or inspire others. Advice given without empathy often feels distant or disconnected, but guidance offered by someone who truly understands hardship carries a different kind of weight. It comes from experience rather than theory. Empathy allows individuals to connect with others in meaningful ways. It helps them listen more carefully and respond more thoughtfully. When people feel understood, they are more open to learning, growing, and trusting the guidance they receive. In this way, early difficulties can become the source of compassion that allows someone to help others more effectively. Challenges also strengthen problem-solving ability. Difficult situations rarely resolve themselves without effort. When individuals face obstacles, they must search for solutions. They must analyze circumstances, consider different possibilities, and experiment with new approaches. Over time, this process develops critical thinking and creativity. People who have faced multiple challenges often become skilled at navigating complex situations. They learn how to adapt when plans change and how to find opportunities in unexpected places. These abilities are valuable not only for personal growth, but also for anyone who hopes to create change or contribute something meaningful to the world. During the preparation phase, however, individuals may not recognize the value of these experiences. When someone is in the middle of hardship, it is difficult to see how the situation might benefit them in the future. The immediate focus is usually on overcoming the difficulty itself. Questions often arise about why the struggle is happening, or whether things will ever become easier. These feelings can lead to periods of doubt and uncertainty. Some individuals may feel isolated because they believe their experiences are unusual or difficult for others to understand. They may struggle to explain their thoughts or ambitions to people who have not shared similar challenges. This sense of isolation can create the impression that they are moving through life alone. At times, they may also feel misunderstood. When someone is following a path that does not match the expectations of others, it can be difficult for those around them to recognize the purpose behind their experiences. Friends or family members may encourage safer or more conventional choices, not realizing that the individual is being shaped by circumstances that require a different kind of growth. Uncertainty about direction is another common part of the preparation phase. Many individuals who eventually discover a strong sense of purpose spend years feeling unsure about where their lives are leading. They may explore different paths, try various opportunities, and encounter both success and failure along the way. This exploration can feel confusing, especially when progress seems slow. Yet this period of searching often plays a vital role in personal development. Each experience adds another layer of understanding. Skills are developed through experimentation. Lessons are learned through both achievements and mistakes. Gradually, individuals begin to recognize which environments, activities, and ideas resonate most strongly with them. Over time, these experiences combine to form a foundation of knowledge and emotional strength. What once felt like scattered or unrelated challenges begins to reveal its value. The resilience developed through hardship becomes a source of stability. The empathy gained through struggle becomes a tool for helping others. The problem-solving skills developed through difficult situations become the ability to navigate complex opportunities. This foundation prepares individuals for moments that may arrive later in their lives. When opportunities appear that require leadership, creativity, or guidance, they already possess the qualities needed to respond effectively. Their past experiences have equipped them with perspective and strength that cannot be learned through theory alone. It is also important to understand that preparation often takes time. Growth does not happen instantly. Just as physical strength develops gradually through repeated effort, emotional and intellectual strength develop through repeated experiences. Each challenge contributes something new to the individual's understanding of themselves and the world around them. Looking back, many people eventually realized that the difficulties they once questioned were shaping abilities they later depended on. The patience developed through long periods of effort becomes valuable when pursuing complex goals. The resilience built through failure becomes essential when facing high-pressure situations. The empathy gained through personal struggle becomes the key to supporting others who are facing similar challenges. When viewed from this perspective, the preparation phase takes on new meaning. What once seemed like a series of obstacles begins to look like a training ground for growth. Each experience adds another piece to the individual's development. The skills, insights, and emotional strength gained during these years become the foundation for future possibilities. This does not mean that hardship should be romanticized, or that every challenge automatically leads to growth. Difficult experiences can be painful and discouraging, but when individuals reflect on how those experiences shaped their abilities and perspective, they often discover that the lessons learned were more valuable than they initially realized. The preparation phase may therefore feel difficult while it is unfolding. It may include moments of doubt, isolation, and uncertainty. Yet these experiences often contribute to the qualities required for someone's eventual role or purpose. Without the resilience built through challenges, the empathy developed through struggle, and the problem-solving skills formed through adversity, many individuals would not be ready for the opportunities that appear later. In the end, the preparation phase is less about immediate success and more about long-term growth. It is the stage where character is shaped, abilities are refined, and perspective is expanded. While the purpose of these experiences may not be visible at first, they gradually build the foundation that allows individuals to step confidently into the roles they are meant to fulfill. After long periods of uncertainty, struggle, and preparation, there often comes a moment in a person's life when things begin to make sense in a new way. It is not always a dramatic moment or a sudden revelation. In most cases, it unfolds gradually. The person begins to notice connections between experiences that once seemed unrelated. Events from the past begin to align with present opportunities. The lessons learned through difficulty start to reveal their purpose. This stage can be described as an awakening, not in the sense of a mystical event, but in the sense of gaining clarity about one's own direction. After years of exploration and personal development, individuals start to see how their talents, interests, and life experiences have been guiding them toward a particular path. In earlier phases of life, many people move forward without fully understanding where their journey is leading. They experiment with different interests, pursue opportunities that appear promising, and learn through both success and failure. During this time, the path often feels unclear. Decisions are made without the benefit of long-term perspective, and it may seem as though life is unfolding randomly. However, as experiences accumulate, patterns begin to emerge. A person may notice that certain activities consistently bring them a sense of energy and fulfillment. Certain types of problems may attract their attention more than others. They may realize that they repeatedly find themselves helping others in similar ways, or that people naturally seek their advice on particular topics. These recurring patterns are rarely obvious in the moment they occur. It is only through reflection that individuals begin to recognize them. When someone looks back across several years of experiences, they may discover that the same themes have appeared repeatedly throughout their life. Interests that once seemed temporary may turn out to be enduring passions. Skills developed during unexpected circumstances may reveal themselves as valuable strengths. For example, someone who struggled through personal hardship earlier in life may eventually find themselves guiding others through similar situations. Another person who once explored creative ideas simply as a hobby may begin to realize that creativity is one of their most powerful forms of expression. In many cases, talents that were once overlooked become central to the direction a person eventually chooses. This growing awareness often develops slowly. Rather than appearing as a single moment of realization, it unfolds through a series of insights. A conversation may highlight an ability that the individual had not fully recognized. An opportunity may appear that aligns perfectly with their interests and skills. A project may reveal that the individual is capable of contributing in ways they had not previously imagined. As these moments accumulate, the person begins to see their life differently. Instead of feeling lost or uncertain, they begin to understand how their past experiences have shaped their current position. The difficulties they once questioned may now appear as essential parts of their development. The lessons they learned through failure may now guide their decision-making. At this stage, something important changes in the way individuals approach their future. Instead of searching endlessly for direction, they begin to recognize the direction that has been gradually forming all along. Their focus shifts from exploration to alignment. Rather than trying to become something entirely new, they begin to embrace the abilities and insights they already possess. This transition marks the movement from preparation to action. During the preparation phase, individuals gather experiences, develop skills, and build emotional strength. During the awakening phase, they begin to apply those qualities intentionally. The insights gained from past challenges become tools that help them move forward with greater clarity. When someone reaches this stage, decisions often become easier to make. The individual no longer feels the same level of confusion about which opportunities deserve attention. Instead, they begin evaluating choices based on how well those opportunities align with their deeper sense of purpose. Activities that once seemed appealing may now feel less meaningful if they do not connect with the path the person has begun to recognize. At the same time, opportunities that once seemed intimidating may suddenly feel important to pursue. Because the individual now understands their strengths and motivations more clearly, they are more willing to step into roles that reflect those qualities. Confidence grows from the realization that their abilities were shaped through years of experience. Another important element of this awakening phase is the desire to contribute. Many individuals who recognize their path begin to feel a strong internal motivation to use their abilities in ways that benefit others. Their experiences have given them perspective that can be valuable to people facing similar challenges. Their skills can help solve problems or create opportunities that did not exist before. This sense of contribution often becomes the driving force behind their actions. Instead of pursuing goals solely for personal achievement, they begin focusing on the impact their work can have. Their efforts become connected to a broader sense of purpose, which strengthens their commitment and perseverance. It is important to understand that the awakening stage does not mean that uncertainty disappears completely. Even individuals who clearly recognize their path continue to face challenges and difficult decisions. However, the difference lies in their perspective. They no longer question whether their journey has meaning. Instead, they approach new challenges as part of the ongoing process of growth. This perspective creates a powerful sense of direction. Instead of reacting to circumstances randomly, individuals begin making choices that reflect their values and strengths. They take responsibility for shaping their future while drawing upon the lessons of their past. Over time, the role they once felt uncertain about becomes clearer. They may find themselves leading projects, creating ideas, mentoring others, or contributing to communities in ways that reflect their abilities. What once appeared to be an abstract purpose gradually becomes a practical reality through consistent action. This is where the idea of the prophecy takes on its true meaning. The prophecy is not a prediction written somewhere outside of the individual. It is not something imposed by an external force that dictates the exact events of a person's life. Instead, it emerges through the choices that individuals make as they begin to understand themselves more clearly. The prophecy becomes real when someone consciously chooses to step into the role their experiences have prepared them for. Every challenge they faced, every lesson they learned, and every skill they developed becomes part of the foundation that supports their actions. The path forward is not something that was magically predetermined. It is something they actively create by aligning their decisions with the insights gained through their journey. When individuals reach this stage, they often realize that the experiences they once struggled to understand were guiding them all along. The preparation phase built the qualities they needed. The awakening phase revealed how those qualities could be used. From this point forward, the journey continues with greater clarity. Instead of searching for purpose, the individual begins living it. Each step they take reinforces the understanding that their life story, with all its challenges and turning points, has been shaping them into the person they are now ready to become. When we step back and reflect on the ideas explored in this video, the concept of the chosen one prophecy begins to take on a deeper and more practical meaning. It does not necessarily refer to a literal prediction about someone's future. Instead, it can be understood as a powerful metaphor for how life experiences gradually shape a person's direction over time. The idea of a prophecy becomes less about something written in advance and more about the way our experiences prepare us for roles we may not fully understand until much later. Throughout life, many moments appear random when they first happen. A difficult challenge may seem like an obstacle with no clear purpose. A setback may feel like a step in the wrong direction. An unexpected encounter with another person may appear insignificant at the time. Yet when enough time passes and we begin to look back on these experiences, they often reveal connections that were impossible to see in the moment. Challenges frequently teach lessons that comfort alone could never provide. Difficult moments build resilience, patience, and emotional strength. Encounters with the right people at the right time can introduce ideas that influence the course of someone's life. Even experiences that initially feel like failures can redirect a person toward opportunities they might never have discovered otherwise. What once appeared to be a series of unrelated struggles can eventually reveal itself as a preparation process. Each experience contributes something valuable. Skills are developed through effort, perspective grows through adversity, compassion often emerges from understanding hardship personally. Over time, these elements combine to shape the person someone becomes. When people begin to reflect on their lives from this perspective, they often notice how many of their most meaningful qualities were formed during moments they once questioned. The resilience they now rely on may have been built through earlier difficulties. The insight they share with others may have come from mistakes they once regretted. The direction they now follow may have started with opportunities that appeared unexpectedly after a setback. This is why the idea of a prophecy can be understood as symbolic rather than literal. It represents the realization that life itself has been shaping a path through experience. What felt uncertain at the time may later appear as an essential step in a larger journey. The story only becomes clear when enough pieces are finally visible. If you have ever looked back at moments in your life and wondered why certain things happened the way they did, you are not alone. Many people eventually discover that the experiences they once struggled to understand were quietly guiding them toward growth, insight, and purpose. What seemed confusing in the present often becomes meaningful in hindsight. Every journey contains moments of uncertainty, challenge, and discovery. But sometimes, the very experiences that once felt like obstacles turn out to be the moments that prepared us for something greater. And if this message resonated with you, or gave you a new way of looking at your own journey, take a moment to support the channel by liking this video, sharing it with someone who might benefit from hearing it, and subscribing for more content exploring purpose, personal development, and the hidden patterns that shape our lives.